So I think that the overarching goal for any tax department in a REIT should be to drive value, maximize value in an efficient way.
Joining me today to talk about REIT tax issues is Etan Bluman, Tax Director with Urban Edge Properties. What applying principles do you believe to be critical to a REIT tax department's day-to-day operations and overall impact on the company?
And I believe there are 4 core principles that I generally try to apply at Urban Edge, and that I would suggest for all tax directors to consider. And one is communication, collaboration, thinking strategically and creatively, as well as assessing and managing risk. And everything that I do is sort of within the confines of those principles, with the goal, like I said, of trying to drive value and maximize the value that I'm able, or that the department's able to contribute towards the company's objectives and goals.
As a tax director, how do you keep apprised of what is happening at your company's properties to ensure compliance within the REIT rules?
So 2 of the principles that I just mentioned, communication, collaboration, those are sort of the underlying principles that I believe help me to grasp what's going on at the property level, at the very micro level of the company. I try to outreach to a lot of my colleagues across all of the departments. I participate in leasing meetings, development meetings, property management meetings, just as a viewer, as a bystander, just to get a sense of what's in their minds, what's going on across the company. It gives me an insight into what they're trying to accomplish, and allows me to get out in front of some of the issues. But we also have formal processes as well, whether it be lease questionnaires that our legal team completes for my review prior to any lease execution, or property service questionnaires for our property managers to complete. But the communication, open lines of communication, being in touch with all of the departments, explaining to them why what they do is important and how it will help us as a company in the bigger picture of things is critical. And so that collaborative process of communicating and having that open line of communication 2 ways is critical to making sure that you try to understand what's going on at the micro level of the company.
And lastly, in what ways are you embracing technology as a means toward creating operational efficiencies for your department?
So one of the things that I've tried to do is to create a system where my review of mundane, recurring items is lessened. And we've really tried to pivot towards the use of technology. And so what we've done is we've partnered with one of our service providers who has created and invested a lot of money in creating an end-to-end solution for taxable income for partnership allocations, and really tried to put ourselves at the forefront of the technology discussion to eliminate the mundane, to eliminate the recurring items, and allow for the tax process to be more of an analytical one, and to try to mitigate as much of the human error risk as possible. And not only does it mitigate the risk component, but it also frees up my time to really try to create value through the idea of strategic thinking, through the idea of creative thinking. And so what I've tried to do is really use technology as a way to make my time be spent more efficiently on trying to, in a way that can drive value for the company.